Hey there. I wanted to just make a quick video about what we're going to have you be doing with each of our learners during their intervention time, or I'm going to call it star tutors. So you're going to have 3 learners a day. Ashley, that may be tight, and so let's play it by ear. If you're finding you can only get in 2 a day through these activities, then I will push another learner to Mrs. Budge and have her do it during the day. So it's flexible. But I do think that as they get in a routine, it will get quicker. So let's kind of see how it goes. So this in your basket, it's going to have the Star Tutor activities, and I will change them periodically. But I'm anticipating 10-ish minutes. It may take 15 at first, I'm not sure. So each learner, this is the order I'd love you to go in. Each learner is going to have a sight word flip book, and I am going to come, the goal was snow day, to assess the learners. I want to make sure I have their most accurate sight word knowledge before I make the book. But like is a set of cards like this with a ring in the corner, and it will be in a bag with the learner's name on it. So if it's Riker, it's going to say his name on the front. Every day I'd like you to pull it out, and I want you to read the words on there with him. So I would suggest you put it in front of him. These ones I'll say with, but just pretend with me. So you're going to put it in front of him and just explain, I want you to read the words in this book, and then we're going to see if we're ready to add a new one. So what I want to happen is they're going to read the words in the book and flip it. Read it, flip it. The ones in the book will be words that when we assess them, they show they already know. Plus one additional word at the end. Let's pretend this is the end of their book, and it's a word that they are learning. So this is an in-progress word. I would like that each time that you show them this word, if they know it without prompting, just with a marker, put a check in the corner. Like a check mark in the corner at the top, so you know that they got it. Make sense? So you have to use a permanent marker for that. And once they have 5 checks, it's ready to add a new word. So I would love to make a big deal out of this, and it does say all of this right here on our sheet, but when they have 5 checks, it's time to add another word. And we can just, leading up to it, I could see the conversation sounding like, oh my goodness, you knew that without my help today. I'm going to add a check on here. Second day, you knew it again. I'm so proud of you. Let's add another check. When you get 5 checks, we're going to add a new word to your ring. So really kind of selling that to them. So you're going to practice this sight word flip book with them every single day. If there's a word in there they don't know, but they maybe knew it the day before, give them a minute. Prompt them a little bit without telling them the word, but give them time to try to work on the sounds. Get it started. How does it start? See if they can figure it out. If not, you're going to give them the word. So if they knew it yesterday and not today, then I would say, okay, if they've tried, I'd say the word is with. Say it for me. With. I know you're going to get that one tomorrow, and go to the next word. So then the second part of the activity will be to teach or practice a new sight word. And this is going to be the word at the end of their book that they're working on. So that's the new word. And there is a whiteboard in the bottom of the basket that you're going to need for this activity. So it goes through the instructions on here one at a time, and I'll kind of go through them with you in a modeling way. So I would say today we are going to, and it says learn or practice. If it's the first time you're teaching a new word, like if it's a day they got their 5th check and you're going to add a new word to their book, oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Today we have a brand new word. Then on day 1, you're going to say, today we're going to, I'm sorry for the glare, today we're going to learn a new word. The rest of the days, you're still practicing the word that has 4 checks on it. Today we're going to practice our new word. You're going to practice it every day. You're going to use the word practice. So it's going to look like this. Today we are going to, sorry, there was a phone call. I'm just trying to ignore it. Today we are going to learn a new word. The word is, now, I don't want you to show them the word at this point. I want them to just be listening to the word that you're saying. So you're going to say, today we're going to learn a new word. The word is had. And then we say it for me. They're going to repeat had. And then this is in the quotes is your part. Let's listen for the sounds we hear in the word had. Tap it with me. And I want them to use their fingers to tap the sounds like this. Had. How many sounds did you hear? And I want them to give you how many sounds. If they're unsure, tap it again. Tap it with them. Had. How many sounds did you hear? And then on this whiteboard, you're going to write a line for each sound in the word. So if it's had, it's all phonetic. Add. What's the first sound you hear in the book or in the word? We want them to give us the sound. If they say H, say that's the letter. What's the sound? If you ask for the letter that represents the sound, then they can give you the letter. But in the end, you're gonna write it for them. So they're gonna say, what letter? H. Our next sound, ah. What letter would that be? And then our last sound, D. What letter would that be? D. And then you're gonna write the whole word down underneath. Had. Our word is had. Then we have them read it for us. What's our word? They're gonna read had. Okay, then I want you to build the word with magnet letters. I want them to build it. So each of you will have a magnet tray and you're going to take off had, just like this. And I want you to have them build it. Build the word had for me. And you may want to flip over your board so it's blank so that they're recalling. Can you build the word had? And then have the learner write the word on the board using their dry erase marker. So if they've got it in front of them like this and they've built had, read it for me. Had. Can you write the word had on your board? They're going to write it, and then you're going to take the letters away. I want you to dictate a different word, one that is in their book that they already know. So if they have at in their book, have them erase had. Now write at. Good. Erase it. So this has to go quick. And the last one, I want you to write had again. So they're writing the word we just taught. Then they're erasing. So they can't see it. They're recalling a word they already know. And they're coming back and writing it again. So this is probably the most time-consuming part of your activity. But on consecutive days, as you've already taught the word and you're coming back to practicing it again. And if you feel like they know it well enough that you can skip writing the lines and saying the sounds, then just say, today we're going to practice our new word, had. Say it for me, had, and go straight to giving them the magnet letters. Build had for me on your board. Perfect. Write it, and then take their letters, give them a new word. Write the word and, erase, go back to writing the word had, and then they can put them away and they're done. So that's the second activity. So the third activity is sound cups, and this is what it looks like. They're going to take these cups. You're going to take the cups out of the bag and place 4 to 5 cups facing the learners. Right now they're in alphabetical order, so you're going to have to mix them up a little bit. But if you look at them, if the cup has the letter facing you, then it also has the letter facing the learner. So I would say today we're going to listen for the sounds in the sounds that our letters make. So I'm going to put some letters out. What sound does this one make? If they can't say, okay, so you're going to have them say the sounds with you. Our first cup is, say it for me, at. We don't want them saying the name of the letter. We want the sound of the letter. Okay, here's my next one. My sound is k, k. Good. What sound is this one? That's right, d, d. And our last one, eh. So we're only going to put out 4 or 5 cups. Then they're going to close their eyes, and you're going to use, there's bears in this bag as well as some M&Ms. I would play it through a couple of times, maybe twice with bears. And on your last one, you could hide 1 M&M under a cup. So you'll just put the sounds out. You'll say, close your eyes. And with their eyes shut, you're going to hide them under 2 cups or 3 cups. There's 3 bears, and then mix them up. They're going to open up their eyes and tell you what sound to lift up. It's your job to lift the cups. So if they say ah, 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 you'd say, and you'd lift it up. If it doesn't have a bear under it, I just move it out of the way. If it does, if they say eh, and it has a bear, I just put the bear on the top. So part of this activity is we have to have control over our kiddos, that they're not touching the cups, that they're not taking the bears when they get it. It goes on top of the cups, and it just keeps it really nice and sleek and no big deal. We just clean it up really quick and go from there. So anyway, you'll play this game 2 to 3 times each day. You can keep the same cups, or with each round, maybe you want to pull out different sounds. So with these learners that you guys are working with, they are learners that need additional practice with learning sight words, with letter sounds quick, which is what the next activity will be. So the next activity is a word blending page. It looks like this. There's 2 sides, and they will only do 1 side per day. Now this uses some sticks that are in our class, and you will need to grab a set of sticks when you go out every single day. I don't care which ones you get. You can grab the sticks to begin with, or you can have a learner, if they're like really want a certain one, to grab them. So they're themed, but my kids don't care. They like them, whatever they are. So grab a set of sticks. These sticks have all of the medial vowels. And what you're going to do with the kiddos, you're going to start with the short A. That's the sound that all of them should start with. But once you're finding that they're ready to go on to the next, you'll go on to short I and go from there. So in one day, you're going to give them a stick and you're going to say, what sound does this letter make? We want them to tell us the sound, ah. If they tell you the letter, say, that's the name of the letter. Give me the sound. They should say, ah. And then model it for them the first time. They're going to read the words. They're going to read mag. Put it together, mag. Some of the words are nonsense words, and that can be fun for the kids, but make sure they know some of the words are silly. So they try the next one, ran, and they read the word. Now, sometimes if learners are struggling, if they're saying mag, and then they are not putting it together, they're saying mat, then here's a tool. And I'll send you a sticky note. Sorry, I'm just going to look at the ground a minute. A sticky note is a good tool for this. Cover up the ending sound. Say, let's try that again. Read just the first two sounds with me. Ah, and then they blend those two and hold the vowel. Ma. Keep the vowel held as you pull this off. Mag. What's our word? Mag. And we don't want to go on to more if they're struggling with one. So the goal is that they can fluently read the 6 words on a page in a day. And then the next day, you could give them to the other side with that short A sound and do it again. So each day, these are going to get returned to class, but this paper will stay in your box. Just because we use this every day at my table as well, and I want to make sure that it is available. So the last thing that is going to be on their Star Tutor page is a familiar reading story. So in the back of their chair, each learner has a folder like this, and inside is a passage or short story that they have been reading at my table. So it's already familiar. We're working on fluency. So if there's time at the end that they can read one passage or one small story, then I would love for them to read one small story with you at the end. I know this is a lot of little steps. In years past, we have had 5th graders who came in and worked with our kindergartners in our intervention program, and they would do this with our learners in about 10 to 15 minutes, and it is slower at the start. But my hope is that we can get to the point where we can do the whole list of activities in 10 minutes, and that then they just get to come right back in. So we're going to nix doing iStation as part of this time. I want it to be fun. I want it to box of candies. So at the end, and you can let them know at the start, they may pick one fruity at the end if they have been on task and worked hard the whole entire time. That's the reward. So please ask if you have questions. We will change these periodically, and we may remove learners that are in your group from time to time. I don't anticipate adding more kids, but there's always a possibility. So these are our kids that we really, really want to focus on helping to master some of these targets, and just feel like we're struggling to find the time to work on them one-on-one. So we appreciate you guys so much. And like I say, please ask if you have questions.